So that is true. And I guess how do you see the dynamic with Richard Hart and Vitalik playing out in the future? Are they going to be? Is it going to be more amicable, adversarial? Because Vitalik is going to have to acknowledge him at some point. Like
No, he
he's
doesn't.
not going to be able to ghost him when.
Vitalik's in his own world, man. The guy wears unicorn clothes. I
No,
mean,
he's going to have to give him. He's going to have to acknowledge him because people are going to start leaving his chain, and people are going to start asking him about
yeah, and
Pulsechain.
Vitalik said that 5 cents transaction for the internet of money was absolutely ridiculous, yet he's allowed gas fees get up $1,500. Let's think about this for a second. Vitalik said that 5 cents for a transaction for the internet of money is absolutely absurd and ridiculous, yet he allowed on his own network fees to get up to $1,500. So I don't know.
He's going to have to acknowledge him, though, because the bankless people are going to be asking him next time he's on. They're going to be crying and you're going to be with the mug. But they're going to ask him, like, what about Pulsechain? Like it's going to be talked about.
Do you think Bankless is going to mention Pulsechain?
Yeah.
They're probably staying the hell away from that. They've been beaten down so damn bad. From sponsoring Luna, BlockFi, Celsius, Nexo. Man, geez, can you guys pick anything that actually wins? No, because why? Because you're picking everything but the only thing that's winning. Good God. Cry me a river.
What is the relationship, though? They're gonna acknowledge each other.
Please, sir, may I have some more? Please, sir, may I have some more?
No, but what is the relationship? Are they going to get along? Like, what's the future? Because they are gonna have to acknowledge this is too big. It's getting too big.
Richard doesn't have a problem with Vitalik. He's pissed at pissed about the gas fees, but I mean, Richard respects Vitalik.
Yes.
So I don't think they have a lot in common. I don't think they're going to go out to the club. I don't think you're going to see them doing fine dining together. They're not really compatible personalities, right? I mean, will Vitalik give credit where credit's due? Who knows? I mean, technically, Richard is building off of open source software that Vitalik has built. And without Ethereum, Pulsechain would not be happening because it's the starting point. Without the recent developments that they had, we probably would be still building on a form of BSC, right? Which, had issues. So nobody knew whether or not their merge was going to work effectively or not, right? So it changed everything.
Okay. I think Vitalik is probably going to start out like calling him a scammer, and then I think maybe he'll grow some respect, and maybe they'll have a forum in the future.
Well, Vitalik was called a scammer. Charles Hodgkins is still called a scammer by the by the Ethereum community. ADA has done fine. Ethereum's done fine. Yeah, mind you, Cardano still doesn't have their smart contracts going, at least that I'm aware of. I mean, could change. But yeah, I mean, what we're building is different.
Yeah.
What we are building is different. You won't actually have to go to the old crypto space to go to the new one, right? It's like kind of its own console, I guess, if you want to think about it that way. We'll have our own stuff going on over there, and there'll be a bridge between it, and you can go across networks if you want. But I really could see Pulsechain being like 40% of all the new activity coming into crypto. Kind of like Amazon is 40% of all internet commerce now. Do people love Jeff Bezos? No. They still shop Amazon? Yeah, they do. Do they really care whether they like Jeff Bezos? No, they don't care. They're still going to use Amazon. Why? It doesn't matter. It's a service. It's convenient. It's to your benefit. You're going to utilize it. Most people are not even going to know who Richard is that are going to be using Pulse. So that's why I feel like the whole monument thing is not really all that necessary, because programmers and people that develop software seldom get the credit that they deserve anyway, right? And you know, you play, if you play lots of video games, do you even pay attention to who the main game designer was? No,
Sure.
you just care whether or not it's a good game, right? So I don't think I don't think there's a lot of added benefit to trying to build something monumental. Just build something that works. You build something that works, and you build something that's good, people will come. And maybe you will still not get the credit that you want for the innovations that you made. It may take years before that comes through. It could take it. You know, people celebrate Satoshi Nakamoto, and he could be an axe murderer, serial killer for all you know. People have no idea.
It's
He could
true.
be some kind of warped, deranged individual that wears doll dresses. You know, we don't know. Okay, so this concept that an anonymous founder is better than one that has his reputation and face on the line is absolutely insane. Because you can't go put yourself out there and fail, and then everybody know who you are, and because you'll never outlive that. Look at Mason; he's dealing with that right now, right? He put himself on the line. He made some statements, and now he's got to live with that because he chose that, right? So you got to do, if you're going to put yourself out there and you're going to make statements, you need to be able to stand behind it, or admit your fault if you can't. So, and that's what Richard's done. And he really wants to build a monument. So he can point at it all the time and say, look, I built that, you know.
It's a great
Whether or
point.
not people care, who knows? But he is going to build something that he's proud of so that he can point at it and say, I built that, whether or not it cares. Like, you guys probably don't care. I got a giant dragon head in here. I like to point at that and say, I built that, right? So, no other reason. I wasn't planning on selling it. I have rented it out before, but no reason to sell it or anything. It was just because I could. That was something that I built for me because I could.
Great points. Another question. So I just thought, right? So Ethereum's having the gas fee issues. Do you think maybe that they're going to see what Pulsechain did works? Like, let's just make another hard fork, you know, another network, and then everyone can get more copied over hex, kind of thing. Could you see that happening?
Networks can continue to fork.
Yeah.
Networks can continue to fork forever, right? So, uh, but if you look at Ethereum Classic and you look at Ethereum, Ethereum Classic was actually the original, right?
Yeah.
Until they changed it. So, how many hammers do you need, right? That's what you got to really look here. What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to drive a nail? How many hammers do you need? Do you really need all this other stuff? That you can add all the bells and whistles to your hammer to make it look prettier and sparkly, and you can add glitter to the handle. You can make it out of titanium, but really, does it do the job? And if it does the job, how many hammers do you need? So what happens is most people will pick their favorite network. How many teams do you cheer for? You know, you've got one team in each sport. So, you got your favorite team. Most people do not have multiple uh, sports teams in the same sport that they cheer for. They generally pick one. And humans, unfortunately, are very binary thinkers. It's why we like true and false questions and A and B answers, right? We don't like it when we have extra choices because it really usually comes down to two. They do that with our political system. Why? Because we've got two choices. Heads we lose, tails we lose. It's great. Right? But they love our binary thinking because we can't think of a third option, right? It usually comes down between the choice between A and B, and then we usually pick our favorite one. So I think Pulse could people are even thinking now, you listen to them talk. What do they say? Should I keep my hex on ETH or should I just move it all over to Pulse? They're already making their decision to pick their favorite, right? That's just how people are programmed. So if Pulse is the better network, there of course will be the people that are elitists that are just going to stick with what they're familiar with and not change because people don't like change. And then there are going to be the new people that come in, and they're going to have the choice between A and B. And I think the obvious choice between A and B, looking at it from a new perspective, is, well, obviously this is the ATM that only cost me $1, and this is the ATM that cost me 40. I'm going with the one that cost me $1. And I think it's a no-brainer. And that's why I say PulseX could be PulseX, the exchange, could be, 40% of all new internet or all new crypto commerce.
It would make sense because Hex had most of the Uniswap volume. So.
Yeah. And it could very well become, where everybody does their trades. And people could be bridging in from Ethereum to do their trades over there and the low gas fees. And then if they want to go back to the network, they can bridge back those same coins.
Yeah, that's what they do with Matic and Arbitrum. So very.
And Matic was cool and Matic was fast, but Matic had a lot of bugs and had a lot of problems, had a lot of lag, had a lot of issues going on over there. So it was not a perfect solution. A lot of us were utilizing that during high gas fees in order to acquire Hex.